I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Digging holes! Just when you think Ron DeSantis can't dig a bigger one, he calls in a Panama Canal-sized backhoe and just goes deeper.
Freedom lives here.
Ron, by the way, is the governor of arguably the most insane Mad Hatter state in America. This last week, the Florida Board of Education brought in a new curriculum on African American history, and this new standard says that black people benefited from slavery. Black people benefited from slavery? K. You mean like the Jews benefited from concentration camps where they benefited by learning to concentrate? So let us figure out how black people benefited from slavery. Are you guys ready? Hi, kids! You've been taught so wrong for so long. Slavery was just a jobs program. Think of slavery as a 400-year unpaid apprenticeship with whipping, rape, and genocide. Slaves learned valuable skills like how to be blacksmiths and how to grow crops. They also learned babysitting other children when their own children were sold off to another plantation where those children benefited also. And that's why African American billionaires far outnumber the white ones. And those are the benefits of slavery.
This message brought to you by the Florida Board of Education and Governor Ron DeSantis.
The Florida Education Association, a statewide teachers union representing about 150,000 teachers, called the new standards a disservice to Florida students and are a big step backward for a state that has required teaching African American studies since 1994. A big step backwards for Florida, a state that's already in reverse with its gas pedal to the floor since this douchebag took over. Benefits of slavery. The press release said that Booker T. Washington benefited from slavery. Booker T. Washington was born in 1856. Slavery ended in 1865. He was 9. But what he learned in those 9 years of slavery led him become a leading African-American intellectual who also founded Tuskegee University and advised Presidents Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft. I guess it was the Yale plantation. See, Florida says slavery wasn't so bad.
Benefits.
Slaves were just getting an inspirational seminar so they could be all they could be. And if they weren't inspired enough,
Benefits.
or they had to focus on learning while in a box in the warm sun.
Benefits.
The sun of the South.
In the hot box.
Oh, the slaves had it so good they learned not to read by being killed for learning to read. Oh, their cup overflows with benefits. Here are a few more benefits of slavery. Half of all slave infants died during their first year, which is twice the death rate of white babies. So with only half the kids, those benefit classes were kind of empty, and those kids had a lot of time to learn. The average life expectancy for an African slave was 22 years old compared to white benefactors who lived to 44. Yeah, us crackers live double. Life's hard. It was harder on us.
He's young, he's healthy, he's got a job, and he's got a country called America. It's a wonderful thing to have.
Benefits of slavery. Here are a few more points in Florida's new Black History curriculum. Instruction for students about several race massacres, including the 1921 bombing of Black Wall Street and the 1920 Ocoee Massacre, must include acts of violence perpetrated by African Americans. You know, gotta do both sides. The Ocoee Massacre was an attempt by African Americans to exercise their legal and democratic right to vote.
My back is thick with scars of protesting my freedom.
And guess what? When they did that, 50 of them were murdered for voting. And no one got one of those stickers either. In the bombing of Black Wall Street in 1921, 1,000 Black-owned homes were burned to the ground because Black people were exceeding too much for these crackers. You know, the benefits of slavery. The sign that commemorates the murder of Emmett Till has had to be replaced 4 times now because racists, I guess, hunt signs. They finally had to put up a bulletproof 500-pound sign. That's where we are in America. People are so racist that 68 years ago, a 14-year-old was murdered, and the woman that accused him recanted her lie in 2017 when she was 82, which is the age Emmett Till would be this week. So those are some of the benefits of slavery. and the history of being black in America. Thank God. Now that we know that there are benefits, it's going to be a lot easier to watch Insta when a cop releases a dog on a black man that already had his hand up and already surrendered. Hey, by the way, it's not an attack. It's snuggle time with an attacked dog. You know, benefits. Woo! I feel better already, don't you? I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Oh my God, the benefits of slavery. Oh, when you list it like that, I feel better about all of it. You know, all my white guilt is gone now that I know that slavery had benefits. Jesus, what's wrong with people?
Uh-oh, kids. He sounds mad.
You have to spin it.
You have to undo the collar.
It's going down as I push it.
Give me this.
It's going down. Oh, like a regular microphone.
It's just a mini one.
It's just a tiny one. You ready? Hi, this is Christopher Titus Podcast. We are having technical difficulties with microphone stands. Trust me.
With length and height and...
Give us a couple more years. We'll get good at this.
Girth.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christopher Titus. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
She's still messing with the microphone.
Because I have a different microphone stand and I don't like it. I'm Goldilocks.
This one's mine. This one's mine. That's
Goldilocks.
the same. They're the same.
Somebody changed the height of my microphone stand, and
You're the princess.
this bed is lumpy.
You're the princess in the pea. If you will,
Thank
we're
you.
going to go to fairy tales. Hi, everybody. So as you saw at the Armageddon Update, it is about probably the most insane. Listen, in the last 6 years, you can say a lot of insane shit has happened, but to just come out and go, yeah, by the way, slaves had it so good. They benefited. There's so many good things that came out of being a slave.
I'm not sure if I'm surprised or not surprised to the depth of horrific things that the Republicans say at this point.
It's the bald face, like just the balls to have them to go. I'm going to announce this. I'm running for president, and the state I'm in is going to say that slaves benefited.
This is like a joke we would say.
This would be like
10,
a bit.
20 years ago, we would say a joke like this.
This would be a bit we would say about.
To directly quote Ron DeSantis, are you?
Oh, is that him?
What are you doing? Checking Instagram.
What's going on? I want to see if the podcast is already doing well. We're only 3 minutes in. I think it's.
Are we doing a live stream? Is that feedback?
He did not technically say slavery was awesome. He said enslaved people, quote, developed skills which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. They're probably, I like the probably, going to show that some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life.
I love that they were forced to be. I just
feel like we have to just be very clear about it. Slaves were beaten, branded, raped, hanged, hunted like dogs, hobbled so that they couldn't run away. Are you fucking kidding me?
Killed for learning to read.
And then those that survived when they were freed, then they were stolen from. They were still beaten and killed after that.
They were not freed. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were supposed to get 40 acres.
They were freed so that they could not get a job.
Yep.
They could not be part of society, own land, vote. Go to schools with other people. They were free.
Insert prison industrial complex.
And then it continued after slavery was over. It couldn't drink out of the same water fountains. Couldn't go to the same restaurants.
Couldn't sit in the same place in the theater.
Right. I brought Emmett Till up at the Armageddon Update. Emmett Till was killed because he said hi to a woman.
A guy was, what was this, the 90s, dragged behind a pickup truck in Jasper.
Yeah. So his head came off?
Yeah.
So the benefits of slavery, it's a thin thread.
When DeSantis was later asked about these educational standards that Florida is implementing, he said, quote, "I didn't do it. I wasn't involved in it."
That's a leader. I'm in trouble. Fuck it. Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I saw Shaggy in concert a few weeks ago.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Shaggy was good.
Shaggy was good. You said that. You said it was really good.
He was really good.
Put on a show. He's been doing it a long time. He should know how to do a show.
I was surprised.
Do you think it's one of the benefits of slavery that he became a good performer?
No.
I'm just saying, it's the dumb. I can't even rap. I laughed so hard, and people must think I'm nuts because when I heard it, I laughed so hard. So here's how bereft and bankrupt the entire now Ron DeSantis is in second place to be the presidential nominee
behind a career criminal.
Behind
yes, keep going.
A guy who's going to be indicted
great,
for the third
great
time.
Party.
Going to be indicted for treason.
Yeah,
and sedition. And trying to overthrow the government, and that guy's the front runner.
46% of the fucking of our country is for these assholes. Keep going, yeah.
so like when you say I'm laughing because it's fucking ridiculous. I can't imagine a time in my life when Greg Edwards, whatever Edwards. Remember the one guy he cheated? He went on. They caught him on a yacht.
Which one?
Edwards,
John Edwards?
Something Edwards. No, he was running for president.
Oh,
John Edwards.
Right.
Caught him on a yacht with a girl.
That's the guy that...
Done.
Right.
Well,
old scandals used to mean something.
He took a boat trip.
That's who Jack Smith prosecuted.
Right. That's who Jack... a Democrat. Yeah.
He's a Democrat. And so Jack Smith is politically motivated.
Done. So he's done.
That doesn't happen anymore. And today the Hunter Biden thing is on loop. Nonstop. It's exhausting because I keep saying we're not one-sided about this. He's not in office. And they keep saying they're going to bring proof that he was tying in with Biden when Biden was vice president in Ukraine in corrupt activities, and they still haven't. And that bullshit started in 2016 with Trump. It's been 7 years, and the witnesses have disappeared and then been federally indicted.
And then they're on the run. The guy's literally on the run.
The other stuff got lost at UPS. I mean,
Tucker Carlson actually sent the most important piece of evidence, the laptop, at UPS, and then on TV he's like, "Well, it got lost." I'm sorry. What you're Fox? Wouldn't you have an armored truck drive it?
Isn't
from
there
Maryland?
A chain of custody when it comes to evidence transfers
Wouldn't you
of
just
things?
carry it on the plane with you?
Wait a minute, that's a better idea.
Oh, he took a plane ride this thing.
I'm just saying
he flew home supposedly and put it on, but shipped it to himself. UPS.
It's a laptop,
so it's all bullshit.
No. I think it was the documents.
So I want to get to the
out.
news in a minute, but what I want to talk about is how bereft they are of any fucking ideas. Here's the thing: if you're going to run for president, right? So Bidenomics is working. It's a dumb name, but it's working. Even J.P. Morgan or one of the big financial firms said, "Well, we thought there was going to be a recession, but we were wrong, and we have the lowest current inflation of any industrialized nation right now." What are you doing? I'm doing what I was doing.
No, I'm not.
Current lowest inflation of any industrialized nation. Everything we have the lowest job numbers ever. We have the highest corporate profits ever. All these things don't happen at the same time unless you know what the fuck you're doing. And Biden's got 50 years experience. Okay, so that's happening. So if you were going to run against that guy, wouldn't you come up with your own? Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. Here's our economic plan.
No.
This is what I don't get. We still have yet to hear your health care plan.
Right. Or your infrastructure
we
plan.
know you have an empty binder with health care on the outside of it. That you took time to 3-hole punch 1,000 blank pages and put in it, but you didn't ever come up with anything. It's, again, 7 years. It's been 7 years.
Right.
Or your plan for the border. Or
buoys.
With spikes on them.
Is that what?
Right? Aren't there... Let's
they
Google
put
that.
Buoys on with spikes.
With spikes on fucking buoys?
It's supposedly like the DOJ is suing them now.
Because they can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just have a bunch of Mexicans hanging off of hooks.
I'm
like it's a fucking medieval England.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
like it's a moat.
baffled by life right now.
Yes, it's baffling.
Today, just getting ready and listening. I'm also probably stressed because we have a 17-year-old dementia-addled blind deaf Yorkie now.
That turns out is one of the healthiest dogs that a vet has ever seen.
Is that dog doing AG1 for dogs?
I just took her to the vet for the first time. Oh shit, I left my ring in the bathroom. That's scary. Don't let me forget. And the vet goes, "Okay, I know you said she started jogging around the house last night. Let me check her heart. I know she's got a murmur. Did the shelter tell you she had a murmur? Any dog this age has a murmur." He listens and he goes, "Her heart sounds really good."
He was like, rough,
No
bitch.
murmur.
I'm ready to
It's
go.
like,
And he goes, "Hold on. Lungs. I'm sure the lungs are..."
Yeah.
He listens to the lungs. He goes, Her lungs sound really good. He goes, hold on, we'll find something. Okay. She's definitely got some muscle deterioration and some arthritis in her back legs, but that's normal. And he goes, this is the equivalent of a 100-year-old woman.
In really good shape.
Swap this with the Republicans against Biden. And it's like, nah, he's doing fine. Versus
Here's the problem is that Biden's still riding bikes and stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Biden is our 100-year-old Yorkie that is doing his job and still hanging in there.
My point was, I was listening to the news when I was getting ready, and all the stations were talking about is this Hunter Biden plea deal hearing today. The plea deal got kicked out for temporarily, at least. And
for what, though? Did they say why?
The judge had some questions about the constitutionality of how the sentence was going to be carried out. She didn't want to be responsible in the future, whatever the wording was. They said it was weird. They're trying to get to the bottom of it.
She got a call from Sean Hannity, is what you're saying.
I don't know. But anyway, weird. But I kept thinking, we never had 24-hour news cycles about Ivanka and Jared getting $2 billion from Saudi. That's where Jared was during January 6th, was there before Trump left office, getting that check. The Saudi foreign finance minister advised against giving them that money. They still got it. Nobody knows why. Mnuchin got how much? $1 billion. So all these people in Trump's cabinet are popping over to Saudi to get billions of dollars. And not only that, they claimed on their taxes $680 million while they were in office, supposedly divested of any of their companies.
And the good news is he solved the Israeli peace.
But there's the difference
he did his job. At least he did his
between
job.
Republicans and Democrats, right? Democrats are like, whatever, it happened, it's in the past, we're going to move on. It doesn't help us now. Here's our health care plan. Here's how we're going to solve poverty.
I don't think that's it. I think if you look at all the big media companies, and Bob Iger is more proof of it, all the big media companies give a shit about their money, and the last thing they want is to be taxed. Corporations do not pay a lot of taxes. They pay 2% on average. So what happens is, if those corporations say, well, here's the news about Jared and Ivanka, that means like, well, fuck it, I'm not voting for Trump again. They want, trust me, the people that own media want our Republicans, period, pretty much overall. Whether it's CNN, MSNBC is a left-leaning station, but I think that's a financial decision. I don't think
they're
the
talking
owners
about it all day.
They're talking about Hunter Biden, right? Because I think at the end it would listen. When you have a media that no longer is governed by any rules, this is what we have currently. And I've said it before, the fairness doctrine got taken away. The media can do whatever the fuck it wants. When Tucker Carlson got brought into court for doing falsehoods, they said he's not a newsman, he's an entertainer. Now, the only good news is
that actually was fact checked. But what
was I wrong?
Hold
on.
That old case that everybody said Fox News claim we're an entertainment company was fact checked as false. What happened with a case against Tucker Carlson was his attorney said that it was ridiculous that anyone would believe him or think what he was saying was credible.
So then why is he on the air?
He's not now, but good.
It's a magazine editorial show.
But it took $867 million paid to the media to get his ass off.
There was something that came out.
So they have but they have no plan, and they keep talking. The trans thing is going away. Have you noticed? Because it's not. People don't give a shit. The gay thing, no one the people that do give a shit are people that you don't want. And what else is going on? Trans thing, the gay.
It's not resonating to their base,
drag
so they're going to move on.
Drag queens, the whole thing about and this whole thing about like
they said today
slavery
Comer. How he talked like this on the news. I just want him to move your
barely there. When I talk, here's why. There's no reason to, because
you got to be a little more.
Is he a marionette?
It's like this. So you don't want who you're recording, you're reading your lips. So I don't know who I listen a whole lot.
Can't stand him. Biden family is going to be proven in history to be the most corrupt criminal family in the history of the United States.
He said that?
Yeah, and this is what I don't
like. What kind
I
of?
feel like my head is exploding.
What kind of cognitive dissonance is that? Joe Biden is like an amazing teacher. Biden
Even if he weren't, which we have a lot of evidence that he is a good man and a good family man, and we have him going to church, but he's not the Christian Trump is, who we've never seen go to church or quote a Bible or hold it right side up. But that's the thing. It's like we have crime after crime after crime, indictment after indictment, not just of Trump, but of everyone in his circle, found guilty by juries of their peers. Manafort, all of them. How many? 13?
And his own attorney general said he's a criminal.
But they're saying Biden's family is the most.
And then Rex
corrupt.
Tillerson called him a moron.
Can you guys
They don't
help
care.
me?
And then Kelly,
Please
and then didn't
help
Kelly
me.
say? Didn't Kelly come out and say? Kelly came out and said he's the most
truly
truly
man.
evil man. And those are
you
all
guys.
people he hired. Those are all people he hired. And yet these
You-
dumb motherfuckers are like, yeah, that's our guy. It's deep state.
You are not going to let me finish this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
today.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm with
give
you.
up.
I apologize. I'm just with you. I'm excited.
I have been giving you guys shit about him wanting to sleep with his daughter for a long time, because that's always what both of you lead with, and I've always been like, okay, that's maybe not the leading thing. This just came out, and I don't know if you saw this, but John Kelly said, Miles Taylor just wrote another book. Miles Taylor was in Trump's, what was he? Former chief of staff for Homeland Security. And then he wrote Blowback, and now he's written another book. He saved this info for book 2 3 years later.
Really glad that he really held it off, even though the country was fucking on fire. Good job, dude.
Aide said he talked about Ivanka Trump's breasts, her backside, and what it might be like to have sex with her. Remarks that once led John Kelly, 4-star general, to remark to Miles Taylor that first of all, John Kelly reminded the president that Ivanka was his daughter in front of a group of people. Then
Good move.
After the meeting, John Kelly goes to Miles Taylor and in visible disgust says Trump was a very, very evil man.
Mhm.
So you guys...
How do you...
You guys were right.
covet- Yeah, thank you. Wow. By the way,
After the 40
we've
pictures
been-
we show you
we're coming up
and
on our
the
10
things that he says.
I just thought
and the
there were-
video
What more do
and
you
the video
need?
on
I just thought
TV.
there
That he
were
said it on
bigger
TV.
crimes, but you guys would say that first, and I'm like, yeah, but Ukraine.
But
because
that's
it's indicative of how much of
Exactly.
a shit he is.
The problem is that
Okay.
that's exactly it.
He sat in a
like
meeting.
even mob guys-
Just be clear. Talked about his daughter's boobs,
and her
ass,
Yep.
and wondered what it would be like to have sex with her.
But
in
even
front of a
mob
group
guys,
of-
even the worst mob guys have honor for
Yeah,
their family.
yeah.
Like this fucking guy doesn't even have that.
It's like if we were all complaining about like Ted Bundy didn't pay his taxes, Ted Bundy didn't pay his parking tickets, Ted Bundy was not good to people at supermarkets, and we're like, but he killed 50 women.
Actually, it's the opposite. I feel like the opposite, that you guys were complaining about Ted Bundy's parking tickets when there was so much bigger things to talk about.
I think we were trying, but he
See,
just said
you
it.
had it backwards.
It's fine.
No,
But-
we were just trying to point out that if this guy's this guy,
Exactly.
if he'll think about fucking his own daughter,
Oh.
he sure as hell
Yes.
has no problem
Yes.
flipping the country. He sure has no
It's like
problem.
that you don't get worse than this.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah, it's low. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And how and those pictures. What about all those pictures when she was a kid? When
I
she was,
just
like,
saw
14?
the one where she was sitting on his lap.
She's dancing
clapping.
on
With
his
his
lap.
like his hand is like
she's-
close to
She's lap dancing. Yeah, the other one where he's got his hand on her ass.
yeah.
She's lap
Oh,
dancing.
where he's hugging her? Was his hand on her butt?
Yes. She's
Lower
lap
than
dancing.
it should be.
She's lap dancing him at 14.
Yeah.
And he's like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
14.
It's yeah.
So we're just saying that, yes, I agree with you. When it comes to democracy ending, right. But the reason we were saying it was because this is what a low-life scum piece of shit this guy is.
Okay.
There you go.
And doesn't that speak to your like what's the word? Not like lizard brain, but your default
Killed it.
sensibility of
Yes.
as a human.
Yes.
Like this is you don't do this to anybody
Well,
at any time.
I
exactly.
felt
You know?
this to me was proof. Those pictures to me were, yes, inappropriate, but I felt like you guys were drawing
Extrapolating.
conclusions that maybe
it took at that split second.
this John Kelly and Miles Taylor saying, he said, I wonder what it would be like to have sex with her. That's like, you're okay. Oh, he really meant it. I hoped he didn't. Who wants to sleep with their own daughter?
By the way, who's the guy that's hanging out with his buddies
Ugh.
and going, have you seen my daughter?
Can you fathom
like,
that?
like if I had a buddy that was like, hey man, my daughter, that bitches, I would do that in a second. I would be like, hey, we're not, guess what? I'm calling the police. I'm getting a baseball bat. I'll be back. If you're here, I'm going to use the baseball bat.
If you're on a TV show and they ask, if you're a father and they ask you, hey, is it okay? What do you think about your daughter posing naked? And you don't immediately throw up, that something is wrong. And he's like, well, she does have a nice figure. Right,
Kenny, my daughter did a music video, and she makes, it's a great song called Big Enough. Look it up. But there's a moment in the video where she does this thing. She's talking about a guy, and she does this move. And I was like, as a father, I was like, mother.
You're like,
I wanted to punch something.
To be fair, every video. The first video had her ripping a condom open with her teeth.
Oh!
Why do you say these things?
Nope. Sorry, nope.
See?
Nope.
That's the right response.
Okay. I see.
Stop.
Giuliani has conceded that he made false statements about the Georgia election workers. This was another. So truth keeps coming out, but do you notice neither of you guys have heard this?
No.
I only heard it because I clicked on a New York Times article in our email.
The media is owned by the right wing because they want to keep the taxes low to continue to make money. Bob.
Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman are suing him. They're suing all of them, Trump, all of them. Giuliani conceded that while acting as a lawyer for Donald J. Trump, he made false statements by asserting that 2 Georgia election workers had mishandled ballots while counting votes in Atlanta during the 2020 election. This concession came in filed court papers on Tuesday night as part of a defamation lawsuit that Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss brought against him. The suit accused him and others of promoting that video. Remember where mom's handing her a ginger mint thing? They said the video showed that they were manipulating ballots. In a 2-page declaration that he signed, Mr. Giuliani acknowledged that he had in fact made the statements about Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss that led to the filing of the suit, and that the remarks do, quote, carry meaning that is defamatory. He also admitted that his statements were actionable and false, and that he no longer disputed the factual elements of liability.
We called that one too. So
wait. That's a weird move. Why would he do that and not go to trial?
He insisted that he still has legal defenses in the case remaining.
He's going to throw Trump
He
under
says
the
he
bus.
continues to believe his accusations, while false, were constitutionally protected under the First Amendment.
Slander is not free speech. You can't.
He also refuses to acknowledge that those statements then caused the women any damage, which would be the element that they need in a defamation
except for
case.
the death threats, and
them
they had
having
to move
and quit
they
their
had to
job
move
and
and quit their jobs, and they couldn't really. And that's for the rest of their life because these rednecks aren't listening to us.
I just thought that was
that's a benefit to them, right? Right?
It's a
benefit.
Sorry, it's a benefit. Like DeSantis said.
Yeah.
By the way, them being accused of destroying democracy, another benefit.
They moved somewhere cooler.
Right,
it's
exactly.
Not so hot. Like Georgia.
Nice bringing it around. Nice bringing it around.
I just thought that was a crack, right? Like, there are little cracks.
What's the move though? Like what I don't understand is that's weird for him to admit it because what's the move? That he says he has other defenses, but not in a civil case. You don't. Maybe.
His defense is he's claiming First Amendment and no damages. That's what he's saying. Sure, I did it. Yes, it was a lie. Yes, I shouldn't have done it, but I was protected by the First Amendment and they didn't suffer any damage.
What is death threats worse? I mean, if someone literally, if there's a bunch of dumb rednecks threaten to kill me and they're coming for me to the point where I have to move, just my deposit. Just my cleaning deposit right there. There's a damage.
The U-Haul rental.
There you go. There you go. Or I get one of those pods for the driveway.
What about your internet? You have to pay. That's $100 to set up a new internet.
And then the hassle. That's $14 million right there. Just to have fucking Spectrum come over and set up your internet.
All the IKEA trips.
$14 million. There you go.
There's a lot. There's a lot of boxes.
Him and I could add it up right now. I'm at $14 million.
Wow. 14.
Okay. Let me ask you, how much would it take for you to let Spectrum come over and to you to wait at home and show up whenever they want?
Exactly.
How much?
You guys
What's
are
that worth
so
to you?
stupid.
By the way, that's every 7th grade dance just happened. You guys are so stupid.
With the long pause of like, dumb motherfuckers.
We were like, yeah, we got something. She's like, you guys are morons.
I just sat here thinking, this can't be real. And there's 2 of them. They gathered
And my
together
son.
and agreed.
And my
wow.
I have to say that
You took me to another 3-hour long movie.
Oh my God. Well, you keep saying this. You keep saying this, that there's more stuff coming out. And you've been right every time. She said that as this gets closer to indictment, more stuff is coming out every day, because what they're trying to do is, and I believe this, they're trying to let everybody know that, guys, we're not fucking around. This is literally illegal shit that this guy did.
Yeah.
And now Giuliani admits that he lied about the, by the way, people, tell your friends, Giuliani admitted in court filings, it wasn't something random on a radio station that he was guesting on. He admitted in court papers that he lied about those people messing with ballots. Lied. Flat out lied. And says it was a First Amendment thing to lie about democracy. So please do me a favor. Shut the fuck up when it comes to next time you say there's voter fraud, because there wasn't. 70 court cases, nothing. Giuliani just admitted he lied. Wonder where he got the lie from. I think it's the guy that you guys want to be the fucking president of the United States.
Again.
What the fuck,
Still.
man?
Well, it's drip, 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 because that second January 6th indictment is coming out just like the documents indictment, drip, 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 for like 2 weeks. And the latest drip was, that Jack Smith has honed in on a meeting on Valentine's Day, I think it was 2019. So it was right before COVID, the year before. And Trump bragged in a meeting about how secure the next election was, because he had put certain things in place.
I heard this recording.
And he did
of
it in front of a bunch of people. And there's a recording where he's saying all of these safeguards they put in place. It's going to be the most secure election we've ever had.
So here's where he fucked himself. So he came out and said, because all the Russian stuff, that's why. So he said the 2020 election was going to be super safe, because remember, we all questioned, like, well, Russia helped you. So he's like, and there was ballots manipulated, this and that. So he came out before the 20 said, no, we've actually put safeguards in. This is going to be the safest election. And Barr said it too.
And then they hired Chris Krebs.
And then Chris Krebs came in.
But then COVID happened, and the states started making vote by mail more available. And then he started saying corrupt, fraudulent, because historically Democrats vote more by mail.
I also think that's changing, because so many old people just stay home and vote by mail now. It's easier for them. And I remember one of the Republicans before 2020 were saying, hey, because he kept saying that, and he like, stop, because there's some people there's older people that aren't in some of your swing states aren't going to vote because they don't want to go to the polls. They're too old. They vote by mail.
My grandma used to say, I work the polls. That's who works the polls, by the way.
She said, we were like, oh,
we
say
loved
some more
when
stuff.
she said, I got to go work the polls.
That's a good graphic right there.
Squeak, squeak.
We need poll workers. That's a good recruiting poster.
Sinead O'Connor died.
And
they're not saying, but I'm guessing maybe it's suicide.
We were talking before the podcast, and we were talking about it because, Sinead O'Connor, like, I'm a huge Prince fan, and Prince, like, I didn't even know that was Prince's song, Nothing Compares to You, and then she sang it, then I found it was Prince's song, and she did crazy stuff. She was mentally ill, and Ray pointed something out. She said, I'm so tired of the media. Why?
Because every time someone dies that they have trashed, including Elvis's daughter, what's her name? Lisa Marie Presley. They all of a sudden, it's just on my way here, literally, the newscaster called Sinead O'Connor a fragile bird and said she wasn't a singer. She was a vocalist.
Now she's a fragile bird and a vocalist.
Wait, a singer. She wasn't a singer. She's a vocalist. What?
Meanwhile,
what the fuck are you talking about? Singer, vocalist. Isn't that the same thing?
But you guys trashed her so badly that she left the public eye.
I'm a vocalist. You're a singer.
I'm not a singer. Trust me.
A mentally ill person who was public about fighting mental illness.
Lost her son to suicide.
Lost her son last year to suicide. Trashed her so that she left the public eye. And now she's a fragile bird. And they're playing her music and then all sitting there going, oh, hand on their heart, she will be remembered. Really? Because you guys haven't remembered her.
You guys
in
thrashed
20
her
years?
for 20 fucking years. Every time she did something crazy, they thrashed her. SNL thrashed her. They thrashed
This
her.
is a Bob and Annie V take on.
We should do
yes,
this.
like people that died. That
Because
you,
Bob
5 seconds
would
previously.
try-
I would be like, that's our next sketch. We'll do Bob because you'd be like, can we go to the tape, please? And you'd meet another suit going,
How you just trash them.
yeah. This crazy bitch. And like, Bob, opinions change. Okay,
She's a lovely
This is next Bob
angel.
and Annie V. Good. Yeah, angel.
This is a Bob and Annie.
Angel
V.
sent from heaven. The wings are shining today with the light of Bob.
Annie loses it again.
Donald Trump was a wonderful, giving, charitable man.
He will be held up. They said we were speaking of that. The one thing is every historian that has analyzed his record as president has said he is the bottom. He's the 46th worst.
Like
He's
there's
the worst president
not enough words.
Number
No,
one worst
there
president of all time.
There was. I thought he was the second.
Nah,
I thought it was Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson and him, but depending on who did it, they go back and forth.
Sorry, James Buchanan, not Andrew Jackson. Andrew Johnson. Holy crap.
Yeah.
James Buchanan was top. Donald Trump second.
So, sorry, God.
Andrew Johnson.
And he's probably mad. I'm number 2. I will be number 1. There was a voting thing. I am by far the worst president ever. How many people have sent a mob to the Capitol to kill the vice president? That's the next level.
One more
It's next
time,
level.
and I will be number 1.
Yeah, exactly. All I need
Win
is
bigly.
4 more years. I will be the number 1 worst president.
Oh, we're going worse. Okay, this one. I'm looking at this poll. This poll has Andrew Johnson as the worst, and James Buchanan and Trump tied.
For second. I like that
These
it's
are all
consistent. He's so
different
shitty. There's not
sites.
even an opinion. Nah, all right, we all agree.
He's definitely.
CBS News, U.S. News and World Report. It's all of them.
But here's the thing. I've tried to figure it out, and I wish I could explain to people on the right. So here's what has happened. The Republicans do this all the time. They tell everybody when the economy's shitty, they say the Democrats did it. Except the records show, the numbers show that every time Democrats are in, the economy gets better. The one thing Republicans are great at doing is forming a fucking group and saying the same shit.
Well,
every
yes,
day.
because it's
They're
easy.
really good at it. Yeah.
It's every page.
Yeah.
Universities,
Yep.
But he's the
political
worst.
groups, non-affiliated political groups.
Yep.
Here's what makes him insane, though. So he's over on the side with Andrew Johnson, Buchanan, Hoover, Warren Harding, Millard Fillmore. I mean, this is not good company. The other side, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, FDR, Theodore Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Truman, Thomas Jefferson, JFK. Who do you think is also on that list?
Obama, Mina.
Obama on every list. And you know that makes him insane.
Can we point something out here? Hold on a second. They can't ever say that they are the party of Lincoln. Can we just get this historically correct?
No, but
Because-
Obama is.
What?
I'm just saying Obama's
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
yeah.
category now.
Because Lincoln, back then, the word Republican meant liberal progressive.
Right.
Democrat meant small government conservative.
Right. So
They flipped,
but the Blue Dog
right
Democrats.
after the Civil War.
Mhm.
There,
Well, it was a little bit after, but yes.
there was a bunch of like wealthy
Dennis.
like a bunch of Elon Musks that were It's hard to flip the name because we're so programmed.
The
They
Blue
were
Dog Democrats came in, and there was definite.
he was totally Dennising.
There was
you.
a total, basically, what you a shift, a continental shift in the way the parties saw things.
well these Elon Musk guys. They got super rich off the Civil War, and then their politics changed.
Mm-hmm.
They started to be more conservative. They wanted less regulations and less. They became conservatives, but they kept the name of they were Republicans originally.
Right.
They just kept the name Republicans. And then over the course of like a couple decades, the ideologies changed.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't ever say they were the party of Lincoln because
here's the
Lincoln was a fucking liberal.
But he also, agreed. And that was fucking 1860.
Yeah, and that's the last thing that they can brag about.
You guys go, yeah, what about Lincoln? Is that what you got?
Oh, and then they say
it's 2023, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
They say the KKK was founded by Democrats. You dumb motherfuckers! That's when Democrats were conservatives. You think the KKK would consider themselves Democrats now?
Sometimes our videos are like that, and I go, and I always say, "Is this how far back you have to go to have anything?
Yeah,
is this what you got?"
And that's wrong. And it's wrong.
Yeah, you're incorrect, and this is it. This is you know what I got in my hip pocket? 1800s.
The Washingtonian came out and they polled historians, and historians say he's the 4th worst president of all time.
Who were the top 3?
I mean,
who beat him?
It's going to be Harding, Johnson,
Buchanan.
I don't know.
I don't know enough about the other presidents because it wasn't my time to comment, but I sure as hell can comment on Trump. How many other presidents tried to literally overturn the government? Because that's what's coming out.
There might have been
was
one.
Before, so maybe this will change. But still, it's really interesting how many. I love to see how it's not one site by Rachel Maddow. It's historians coming together and saying worst, second worst. Yeah,
it's right.
It's really
Steve
bad.
Bannon says, he's number 2.
What made me laugh is I know how jealous he is of Obama and how insecure. And it was this year that Obama moved into the top 10.
But also,
Ulysses Grant moved
Reagan's
up.
Not in the top 10. I mean, and they
in that one.
They hold Reagan up to be very few, but it's like most of the time he's not in the top 10. I mean, you've got legendary presidents. Yeah. I think if Biden can keep his shit together for 4 more years, he flipped. People don't forget what this guy did. And he does it. He doesn't brag about it. He will during the campaign, I'm sure, but he doesn't. You know why? You've got a president right now with 50 years of experience. I get people can say, yeah, but you know he's doing it. Okay, listen, guys. At 80 years old, if you can get in front of a microphone and still answer questions with any sort of like clearness, and he does, he'll stop. He mumbles over words. He's got to stutter his whole life. He's been working on his whole life. Listen. I don't want to get. If the economy was shit in the bed right now, and inflation was 12%, and unemployment was at 12%, I'd be like, fuck Biden. But you have to look at the facts. And the problem I'm having with all of it is that, and just what I was going to say before you interrupted me, was that that Republicans, especially economic disadvantaged Republicans, you know, the low income crackers are. They buy into them blaming Democrats. But the problem is, as someone who busts his ass and works, I make more money as a Democrat. I've checked it. The problem with these guys have is that they think something's being taken away from them. And the Republicans, instead of fixing these rural areas, instead of doing something with policy to bring in a steel plant. No, because you know why? Republicans, if you look at the record, Republicans and Clinton, by the way, I will say, they sent the fucking steel plants to Japan. Our steel plants, all our manufacturing went to fucking China. And these Republicans who own these companies did it. And then these same people who took all these plants out of these rural states were like, yeah, the fucking Democrats. Dude, you owned the plant. What are you talking about? You did it. But these people, and those black people are taking your jobs away. You look at all the benefits they got from slavery. You didn't get any benefits of slavery.
Well, it's not entirely their fault because the information that they've been getting, they only have a narrow set of information.
But you said something. You said something today. We were talking about a guy commented on a thing, and he said one of the Armageddon updates, one of our great ones. Guys commented to the fact of, I need you to cite the information in this. Ken goes. Ken goes, you're on a fucking computer.
Yeah.
He goes,
you type this in.
You found information that you're on a fucking computer. And I was like, that's a valid point.
And then we cited it. That's the citing.
Yeah. We actually
Cite
put the article. You hit pause because the article
it's right there.
Yeah, the information's right there.
And that's just one of the 50 that we just
So I agree with you. There is a point that they get a limited amount of information. The problem is that they are choosing that limited amount of information.
Yes, that's not the only issue. Yes.
When I see something insane, like when I heard this thing about the benefit from slavery, I remember my brain flipped. I was like, what? The polls shifted. I'm like, that's impossible. And I looked it up and I looked at 10 different articles and I was like, the Florida Board of Education. And the guy that approved it, and DeSantis approved that guy, basically backed it up. 150,000, an organization that represents 150,000 teachers said this is going to put Florida a step back. And Florida doesn't have any room to go backwards.
No.
Alabama's like, hey, we got these fuckers.
When the abortion thing happened, and then right after that, 4 or 5 states came out and Republicans are trying to do away with no-fault divorce, which means I couldn't divorce him for any grounds other than...
And you wouldn't get paid. You wouldn't be able, if no matter what I built in our relationship, if we had 10 years together and we became millionaires.
The reason why no-fault divorce began was to protect typically women who did all of the work in the home, raised the kids, took care of the home. And so they're trying, I mean, it was like that and a bunch of other things. They're trying to get rid of birth control.
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Because Republicans believe that they've looked at the numbers. We will be a majority country in about 10 years.
Well, that's true.
And so what they're doing is they're trying to stop it because educated white people are the ones that are getting abortions and stuff. So they're trying to make sure that they don't kill the white race. I'm like, motherfuckers, you get that we're the mutts. We're a mutation. White is just a mutation.
I love,
That's
is
all
it Jane
is.
Elliott
She's
says
awesome.
that we're all descended from black women?
Yeah.
And then she's giving a speech and she says, and yet how many of you consider yourselves to be mixed race? Don't you dare raise your hands. She's like, it's like this great speech, but she goes, you're all just faded black. That's all you are.
Yeah.
But people don't want to hear that. It's like me saying to my stepmother, you think Jesus was white?
Right.
Like,
How'd that go over?
White.
So she blew a fuse. It's crazy.
It wasn't. It was.
She was like,
Everything went on fire. The picture in the back.
she
Never considered it. Racism is
Blue-eyed.
fine because Jesus was white and had blue
Mhm,
eyes and pale, beautiful, milky skin.
in the desert.
Speaking of having pale, beautiful, milky skin,
Yes! Oh my
What a
God.
good one.
You have become a master of this.
didn't even mean it. You saw me
Just
realize
dropped
it.
in. Good.
I was like, this episode brought to you by One Skin.
I'm wearing it right now.
Are you wearing it?
I have the
This is me after 4 weeks.
wow, you look like you're 23 again.
They
I look like I'm 51. Still work. It's just not as
they gave you 7 years. It's not bad.
it's not bad.
You'll take it.
I'm okay with it.
We are both using the eye cream and the face cream. I want to get the body cream.
By the way, just guys, if you can use the eye cream, ready?
No, your old man finger. It's weak finger. No, that is your old man finger. You do use that a lot. Old man Johnson, here he comes.
That is your old man finger.
This finger, I told you, because it's weaker. There you go.
By the way, this is how tough I look when I'm putting on the eye cream.
So 4 female PhDs got together. They wanted to find skin products that actually work. Why
they got to be female PhDs?
Because they're badasses. That's
Okay,
why.
all right.
And so
Racist.
they tried a bunch of peptides in a lab, I think over 1,000 different peptides, and they found this one peptide, OS1, and it's clinically validated in the lab to improve skin firmness, fine lines, and overall tone and appearance.
So can I say, okay, so we got this stuff. They sent us some. I used it for 3 days. At the 4th day, I was like, I grabbed my forehead and I have that, I have that weird, that I had that little dry patch.
Mhm.
It was gone.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
weird.
I was like, what's going on here?
So what this peptide does, I love things that are backed by science. And I think I told you guys that I was already completely knee deep in research about this company. And reading about why and how it works, looking at before and after pictures that people submitted. And then I got this call and I was like, yes, I want to do this ad. Because the before and after pictures are insane. So they found out that this peptide reverses skin's biological age because it reduces the number of zombie cells, dead cells, or also called senescent cells by up to 50%. So you have this buildup of dead cells.
Less zombies on your face is what you're saying.
And exactly. And who wants zombies on your face?
Exactly.
And so there's that buildup of these dead cells. And so this actually targets it from the inside out. and attacks those dead cells and leaves you with.
The Walking Dead cells.
All I can see, yeah, exactly. Well, I like that. Walking Dead's nice.
First thing that you noticed was you kept saying my skin is so soft.
Yeah, so just very smooth. Like I had that rough patch and it's gone now. I use that stuff. So I've been thank you for leaving it on the counter because I thought you stole it.
I started putting it out because
I was mad.
You can't find anything.
So. She was like, "This is mine." So how do we get it? Because it's good.
I need to put it eye level. It was on the counter. I put it on a box, and then he's like, "Hey." So in the third,
found it.
What were you? Oh, yesterday, bags. We need bags for the movie theater. And I said, they're right there. He's standing in the closet. And he goes, no, they're not. And I opened this other door. That's the same space. And he goes, I go,
no, there's two doors. This door was open. I was looking in here. I go, no, they're not. And she goes, click.
I know that they've been there since we moved in.
Bad. Don't make me use my old man finger.
Is it the same as I find little trash packets next to the trash?
Oh, that's his
next
thing.
to the trash.
No, I saw it.
Gum wrappers?
It's like the trash. Like we have
not anymore. I cleaned the shop. Not anymore.
He does his little. I told him it was like Pigpen, little piles. He's very cute, and he brings home nuts and bolts and race cars in his pockets. He really does. I'm not kidding. When I do laundry, I find wrappers for nut bags.
Let's finish this. It's a commercial.
So I just want you guys to know, in a third-party 12-week clinical study, OS1 Face was clinically proven to strengthen skin barrier, significantly decrease visible signs of aging. Wrinkles diminished in 87% of users, firmness in 95.5%. Love that. Definitely notice a difference for me. Yep. And I love the way it makes my skin feel, and it doesn't have a scent. It's fragrance free. I have sensitive skin, and it does not irritate my skin. So One Skin is for everyone that wants to prevent or reverse the signs of aging with a groundbreaking approach. One Skin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. Time for you to experience a new skin health routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with promo code Titus at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code Titus. You only have one body, one skin, and one you.
It helps with your marriage too.
Yeah, it's a good product.
Age healthy.
When you have a rough patch.
With one skin.
The thing is that for nice.
Oh my God.
Wow. I sometimes never know what's coming. And then baseball bat.
I forget what it was, and it was the most brilliant pun yesterday, and I was so proud of myself. And we laughed, and then he goes, Ken would have loved that.
Ken would have vomited. He'd been laughing so hard he would have vomited.
What was it? It was so good. It was right before you took me to see another epic.
Okay, so we went and saw Oppenheimer last night, and as Ray said, so they filmed it. Chris Nolan did it
in real time. They wanted you
it's literally
to experience the 3 years it took to build the bomb.
42 to 45. Yeah,
you have to sit there for 3 years. Like an hour in, he could tell I was getting antsy.
Yeah, this.
Like,
I thought, are you having a stroke? Are you having a spasm? What's going on? So I have to say this about the movie, and I thought about it today because, first of all, I want to look. I love Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino ruined movies for Rachel for the rest of her life. A Hateful Eight,
and made me love movies with in
Pulp
the beginning with Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs.
Hateful Eight ruined it. She can't. It's like. I remember I was telling my daughter today about it because I was literally talking about this story because I said we went to Oppenheimer and we went and saw Oppenheimer, and so I go in the middle of Hateful Eight, we're at the Sherman ArcLight, it comes up intermission, and Tarantino always does this like it's intermission. He does like 70s, he goes 70s, and I hear, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I thought it was over.
It out loud in the theater. Are you fucking kidding me?
How can you intermission at 3 hours? No. And then they released an extended cut. Like, because there was so much more to talk about in that one room.
A lot of unanswered questions. A lot of in the 3 hour
my
movie.
pitch, because you guys know I love a good montage. Introduce Oppenheimer. Okay, little nutty, little brilliant, doesn't fit in.
A lot of brilliant.
Tries to poison his teacher. Fine. Very interesting.
Also a man whore too.
Meets girl. Okay. Then asked to do the bomb. Montage. Builds Los Alamos. hire scientists, people, and
then add
bomb,
Right.
Then you see scientists putting the
we
pieces
use a Richard
around
Marx
the
song
bomb.
from the 80s,
Yep.
right?
And then at the end, he comes running up the steps and fist pump, and
Yep.
then
War is over. War is
Hiroshima
over.
blows up, and the end.
So first of all, Christopher Nolan is a genius. Did he do Tenet too? He did Tenet too.
Yeah.
Tenet was the one
Oh.
where I
Yeah.
was like, I tried to watch that movie 9 fucking times and I couldn't watch
that
it.
was so bad.
I love
I
that
ask her. I tried
You
to
do?
watch it.
Yeah.
You love that movie?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It's
Yeah,
the worst
no.
movie
What?
I've ever. It is so
I've never
bad.
seen him hate a movie, especially
it
for
was so-
Inception? What about
especially
Inception?
a Christopher.
Brilliant.
Love it.
Inception, one of the best movies ever
That's
made.
the one
Okay.
with the book, right?
As a matter of fact, I thought Tenet was
That's
one of
the dreaming
those.
one.
Oh no, wait! Inception is the one with the 9 layers, so that we had to
The
try
dream
to
thing,
explain to my mom.
But I understood it.
My mom slept through the middle she slept
We-
through the middle part completely.
She
She
nodded
landed
off.
from Kuwait, awake for the beginning, woke up at the end, gets in the car and goes, "Well, that movie didn't make any sense." And we were like,
And I go, she goes, "Tell me what happened." I go,
"That
okay.
was a brilliant movie, Mom."
And I start going down it, and I realize I get to the 4th level of dreaming, and I realize, you know what?
I
can't explain this movie.
I started, and you finally said,
I said,
"No,
I
stop,
go, "Stop.
just stop."
You can't."
But then he couldn't help himself because I was going, because when the van went off the bridge, that's why in the next level of dreaming they
Time is
became
different.
weightless.
And time.
And he goes, "Babe, just stop." And then within 5 seconds, he goes, "Mom, okay, listen."
There's no way you can't explain it. You have to see Inception. Inception was great.
That was a great movie.
You know what Tenet felt like? Tenet to me felt like when a guy has a hit song and you could tell the record company sat him down and go, "You need to do another one of those," and then they try. Tenet,
like
Tenet and
like Inception. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it felt that's what it
Yeah.
felt like to me. Whereas the Nolan Batman movies are some of the best Batman movies
great.
ever
Which
done.
ones are those?
Dark Knight, the Dark Knight series.
Is the
Which
book?
one is that? Is that what's his name? Christian? What's his name?
Yes.
It's like Rachel.
He
That
talks
one.
like this the whole time. That one?
Yeah,
the
that
voice
one.
is a bit. I mean, we could tone that down a little bit.
Speaking of that, Cillian Murphy, who plays Oppenheimer, they interviewed him and they asked him about the Batman movies because he auditioned for Batman, and they go, "Really?" Because we saw skinny. He was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Really?" Because I guess everybody. He goes, "It was pretty obvious that Christian Bale was going to get it." He goes, "I did get to put on the suit for the audition, and it was like they used, I guess, one of the old suits,
Yeah.
and he got to wear it. He goes, "You can't help but you change your voice." He goes, "I don't." He goes,
Yeah,
"I talk
yeah,
like
yeah.
this."
He's
he goes,
not usually that
He goes, "You put that."
skinny,
He goes,
though.
"You put that thing on." It's like, I'm Batman. It was really funny.
You see, what's his name?
He
Jeez,
was
Christian
in a
Bale.
bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
The movie right before that was The Machinist.
Yeah, where
And
he's
how
like, he's
rail he
95
was.
pounds, yeah.
So just the fact that
Cillian Murphy was in Inception.
I
Yes,
think he's in every Kristen.
yes, he was.
He
yes,
is.
He's in every Nolan movie.
Peaky
Well,
Blinder.
that-
So
but
I
that's what's
kept
great
thinking
about
last
Nolan.
night, he doesn't usually look like this.
Oh, he doesn't, because
No,
he was super
you know
skinny.
him. You know him. Look, he's
Yeah, no, he was also in the Batman movies.
he's this guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he's okay. He lost all that weight for that movie to play that role.
He was really skinny.
He
but-
was really
So can I say this?
skinny.
It was really
Montage.
Matt. By the way, my favorite character in the movie, Matt Damon's character. Matt Damon's character
Yep.
played this general that came in, no bullshit, and the way he played it at the end, you
Don't
realized.
give it away.
Okay, well, no, but you just realized at one point that how the government works.
Don't give it away. It's history. Don't read anything about Oppenheimer.
Here's what I thought about the movie. It was brilliantly done. I was really interested why they didn't.
I liked Emily Blunt. She was badass.
Yeah, she was great too. But they don't show what happened, and so it was weird. They without
was very
being
weird.
obvious about Nagasaki and Hiroshima, it was kind of an anti-bomb movie.
Like
really.
2/3 of the way into the movie, they decided to make it a thriller instead of a historical drama. And then we switched gears where even you were turning to me going, wait, why? What? Why'd he do that? Robert Downey Jr. was in it and he didn't even recognize him at first.
But Robert Downey Jr. is such a fucking
Yeah,
actor.
he's great.
Holy shit.
Who else? Everyone was
Yeah, there
in
was
this.
nobody. Rami Malek shows
Rami
up out of
Malek-
nowhere, does like 2 scenes.
Al Pacino's in there for a second.
Oh, that's a big explosion.
Whoa, hey-oh.
Hoo-ah, that's a bomb.
I had a choice
Oppenheimer.
between Oppenheimer and we need Jay Moore back. One of my favorite moments to date on this podcast was Jay Moore doing Al Pacino as a middle act. Remember? A traveling middle act. I don't know what I was going to say, but it wasn't great.
You said you had two choices.
It meandered. I could have seen Mission Impossible. I skipped Barbie. My friends all went to that. I'm fine. But
we'll watch it.
I should have chosen Mission Impossible, I think. Unless that... Oh, no, I looked that up. It's 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Do you remember when you were in school and they near the end of the year, or if you had a certain report, they would show a historical drama and you had to write a report on it. They would show it, a movie in class for like 2 or 3 days. That's what it felt like. If they had shown Oppenheimer in my high school, and said, write a report on this, because it's such a perfect historical. So Robert Downey Jr. plays this guy, this politician who kind of, he was a self-made man who started this university, and I don't even know this guy. I have to look this guy up. What's his name again? I keep messing it up. Strauss.
It's Tony Stark. That's what his name is.
I would have preferred if he had just been Tony Stark.
He played a kind of a guy, just a creepy, you didn't
That's
like
what I
guy.
mean by don't give it away, because they obviously they took some license with it.
And people applauded. I was like,
people applauded at the end of the 3 hours.
Here's what I'll say.
I love that.
It was
they're not in front of you, right?
But by the way, it was a good movie. And it's not a movie I'd go see again. Whereas, and maybe this is just me being
you just don't have time.
Top Gun Maverick, I'll watch that over and over again. There's movies, Training Day, I'll watch over and over again. A Midnight Run.
I'll watch
Oppenheimer, I'll be like, wow, I know
again.
a lot more about how this went down.
If you haven't seen Bridesmaids, you just need to watch
Bridesmaids. Again, there's certain movies. I like a movie that you like. That movie can be. This one, at one point I thought I'm being drugged through a history book.
It was awful.
It wasn't awful. It was quite good.
I mean, the length of time, the acting was great, but
why
montage? We could have been in and out in an hour and 10.
There was some really artsy
and that's
choices.
me being loose.
Do you remember at the end? And I'm not going to give it away, but remember he gave that speech after the war ended and stuff, and then as he was walking out with those people cheering, you got that. There was some really artistically cool shit in it that I think could have all been tightened up.
Montage.
Yeah, there was some really killer shit. I'll give this one away because it's not a plot point. So he
goes, don't give it away.
Because it's the one place that you wait for.
Don't tell anything. You can't. People hate when you spoiler alert.
I'm not spoilering anything.
You've already told him that he bombs Hiroshima.
Babe, everybody knows that.
Ruined it. And you told him it ended World War II. Now nobody can go see that movie. The acting was good. The length of time was. There was
not a actor out of place. The guy who played Teller bugged me. I don't know why he bugged me, but he bugged me. But it was because it was interesting.
Interesting. I got tricked again.
No, I said, which movie do you want to go to? And you said Oppenheimer. I called him Oppenheimer.
But we are officially old people because I am allergic to movie theater popcorn. I don't know why. So
you have. I've never met somebody who has random allergies. Like
my
she's
mom
fine
did.
for a while, and then all of a sudden she, hey, I've been eating grapes for 14
my
years.
Face is
then she has a grape. She's like, by the way, my eyes blown up. Yeah.
So that's why he was looking for bags, because we took in not a regular size bag of Skinny Pop, but the Costco.
Organic bag.
Oh, wow.
And
you went backpacking.
Ate the whole thing.
She had a Marshall's bag
I took sparkling water. We were old people officially.
Picnic
and
in
I
there.
had my favorite snacks that I get from Trader Joe's.
You know what was weird?
Trader Joe's. It's got the little pieces of chocolate in it. It's quite tasty.
You know what's weird? This is the Regal that's going out of. All the Regals are going. They're in trouble. They're maybe not out of business. Yeah. We walked in and not one person checked our bags. Or there were no ticket checkers anywhere. Usually there used to be hosts that would say, enjoy the movie, but nobody helping you find your seat, no ushers, no one
blipping your,
nothing.
She had her ticket on her phone. She's like, and no one blipping it.
They were just like we need bodies.
It was packed though.
It was packed. 3 total people behind the concession thing. And that was it. Oh, the valet in the parking garage. It's this place, in Sherman Oaks where you have to, for the movies, you have to park in this parking garage. Used to be a whole team of Asian guys that would run this valet team, and they were awesome. Nobody there. Valet parking signs still there, but not one person.
She goes, what has happened that no one has these jobs anymore? And I think, well,
I said digital content.
She says everybody's got a TikTok.
That valet team has a TikTok.
Who has a TikTok?
The valet team. They
Oh, yeah.
left and they've got a TikTok. And they're getting
They're all
views.
making millions. You said something about, didn't you just say, we were talking about by the way, all our content, go to Christopher Titus TV. There's 9 comedy specials since they're on strike. There's 9 comedy specials there, and there's a ton of content.
Oh, can I tell you guys this? Gotcha.
Just snoring.
We shot the second episode of Knock 'em Dead yesterday,
Yep.
and it was everything I wanted this podcast to be. The guest is awesome. It was just, and it was so, didn't you think, informative and
Yep.
interesting and deep and funny? It was like I just thought yesterday was fascinating.
You're welcome.
Oh my God. Well, you've been put on a timeline. He actually put something in his calendar for you.
Yeah,
So
right.
he
I
said,
actually
I will be calling you July 25th next year. And you get with this guy that he means it.
Yep.
So yeah, anyway. So that's going to be out August 4th, the first Friday of every month. You can go subscribe to Knock 'em Dead podcast on YouTube, and also Rachel Bradley on YouTube, because we're going to start posting stuff there.
Good.
As soon as I heard he was from New Jersey, I'm like, this one's going to be good.
It's interesting, a yogi from New Jersey.
Exactly.
He's a doula.
He's a
So this
fucking
new
yogi.
episode is going to be about death doulas, which most people don't know what those are. And it's pretty fascinating.
It's a midwife for death.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a-
you're just sort of giving everything away, aren't you?
No. Yeah, I did. We only talked to the guy for an hour. You're right. It's over. Sorry. By the way, we bombed Japan.
Why? Why?
Anyway, so is Oppenheimer worth going to see? Let me my quick Titus review. Let me tell you, Oppenheimer is a movie that if you love Christopher Nolan, you should go see it. Christopher Nolan has such a track record that you can go see it. It's a great movie. The acting is top notch. Do me a favor, pack some food,
Could I?
or use it as a fasting.
I have a recommendation.
Okay.
Wait until it comes out, streaming. And then once he agrees to go to build Los Alamos and build the bomb,
Fast forward.
hit fast forward, but hit it 3 times so that it montages it for you. Play a song on your phone, and then you'll see the fish bowls of uranium and plutonium, instead of like every 30 minutes them throwing marbles in it to show how much they have. You'll see them rising. Dun, dun,
What
dun,
song?
dun,
Stuff
dun,
away.
dun, 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 dun.
Who's giving shit away? You just told them how they got all the uranium and
I didn't tell him how they got
you
it.
just told them that.
I didn't tell him how they got it. I
just
told
them
you how
beats
they
of the
measured
movie.
it.
You just told them beats of the movie.
You already told him they bombed Hiroshima.
Oh my god.
So fast forward, play a song.
We
dun,
need to do a
dun, dun,
podcast
dun,
where
dun,
we just
dun,
do movie reviews.
and then pick up, stop
Or-
fast forwarding once you see the explosion.
or if you're a thinker, just watch the movie.
If you're a thinker, you don't have time to watch this movie, and that's my problem. 3 hours is too long to expect me
Is it
to
3
not
hours?
do
What's
anything
3
else.
hours?
It's over 3 hours and 1 minute. I looked it up.
Oh my god.
Mission Impossible is 2 hours and 43 minutes.
When did this happen? I was talking to my daughter agrees. My
It
daughter
used to be 120 top.
she's a different genre, a different age group, different generation. And she's like 3 hours. And so if
It's so
everybody
sweet.
from us to her goes 3 hours,
Yeah.
movies were 2 hours.
Comfortably,
Barbie-
yes.
Barbie is 1 hour and 54 minutes, not 154. 1 hour 54. That's better. Still a little long for a Barbie
Barbie.
movie. I wanted to see how
If
long.
you want to see a movie that's the exact right length, go to Amazon Prime and watch Special Units. It's an hour and 18 minutes.
I think an hour 20 is perfect. Hour 30 if you have a lot of good-looking guys in it.
Grandma would like that. He's cute. I like that.
He's cute as a button. That's what she would always
Just-
say.
Deep fake with Gavin Newsom onto all the
I don't know.
No?
You like Gavin
Instead
I
of
like Gavin Newsom.
Tom Cruise. It's Gavin Newsom.
Tom Cruise. He's short. He's really short. He's like 5'6" or something.
5'5",
5'5".
But he's really, I tell you what, I say it again, give me a bad Tom Cruise movie. And people say Cocktail. I'm like, nope. He learned how to flip those things. Cocktail.
That movie became iconic too
that
for a
Cocktail-
long time.
Then someone else
I think
said
we've moved on now.
Magnolia. I go, not a Tom Cruise movie. He's just in it. I mean, you give me a full out Tom Cruise movie that sucks, but tell me one. Tell me one. And whatever you think about him personally, the motherfucker knows how to make a movie. Like where you're like, what's happening? Jack Reacher, even the second one.
Mhm.
And by the way,
Although
Jack
Jack
Reacher's
Reacher-
6'5".
There's two of them?
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
two Jack
that
Reachers?
guy. That's a good-looking guy. The Reacher, the Amazon show Reacher. If you guys haven't watched that, you have to go watch that. It was so good. And the new season's coming out, and they actually made him look like he was written. Tom Clancy wrote him saying he was massive. All descriptions of Reacher in the books, he was noticeably huge, and it caused certain things to happen in the scenes. And then they put Tom Cruise in the movies.
Well, but here's what I'm saying. Tom Cruise pulls it off. There's that
With
opening,
apple boxes.
That opening
And
scene doesn't
lifts.
matter, and ditches for other actors.
Yes.
But
I said Tom Clancy, it's Lee Child. I was sitting here going, it's not
here's the
Tom
thing about
Clancy.
Tom Cruise.
Jack Ryan.
For whatever reason,
Jack
they
Ryan
interviewed
is
him.
also out.
He loves movies, and he's loved them since he was a little kid. And he talks about how much he loved movies. Like he sees 2 movies a day. He'll go home and watch 2 movies.
Who does?
Tom Cruise.
Every day? Now?
That's what he said. And so that's how much he loves movies. And as much as he's into it, I still haven't. I'll go see it. I don't. Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, are 2 people. Tom Hanks, 3 people.
Tom Hanks,
There are
yeah.
certain people. If just because that dude's in it, I'm gonna go see the movie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Because they've earned this discerning taste of what they're
What
in.
they can choose to do.
Brad Pitt, I'll go see in something. Who else?
George Clooney.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt,
I'll
great.
go see. Who's Jessica Chastain? She's
Love
done
her.
some great stuff.
Love her.
Where certain actors are in it.
Your husbands?
You know who's fall off?
Oh, yeah. Ryan
Your
Reynolds.
husbands?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
I
Yeah.
don't think they can see Ryan.
No?
I think when I've looked before, you can see me with Idris, but you can't see him with Ryan.
I don't think Idris has earned it yet.
No.
No, Beast. Did you see
Ryan,
that
I
last
think-
Lion movie? Nope.
What was it?
Exactly.
I think Ryan Reynolds is on the cusp of that just because he's in it, but he's done a lot of he's done like Ryan Reynolds has done stuff like that Sandra Bullock romantic thing.
Yeah,
He's done some
yeah.
stuff that I was like,
Yeah.
He's
great. By the way, I'll go now Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
I'll go see. Not even
Me
question.
too. Me too.
There's certain things that he's in. I will go see.
See that?
But Free Guy was great. Free
I
Guy
went
was really
and
good.
saw Deadpool. Yeah, Free Guy was good. Deadpool was, let's see, Deadpool 2 was 2 hours. Okay.
Mhm.
See?
Because he cares. I think he gets it.
Cap. Deadpool 2.
You should be able to cut a typical 3-act story into about 2 hours. Like we've established that as a human being, as an experience.
There was a couple storylines in Oppenheimer that I was like, this doesn't need to be here.
The
And
first
this
Deadpool
could have
was an
this
hour
could have been
48.
solved
Yeah.
with 2 lines from one character saying. The whole thing with the girl, the weird girl,
Yeah.
like that. I was like,
Because they never brought that back around. It
they
didn't
never
matter.
brought it. Well, it was part of the reason that they had that big hearing thing. But at one point, even that whole hearing thing is even that was such a little piece of it. I was like, you could have taken 3 storylines, and I think what happens. Did you like Interstellar?
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Yeah,
is
That's
great.
the one with the book, right?
Yeah, I was like, I was going to say, is that the one with the book you're
Lee
referring
Child,
to?
Tom Clancy.
That's
What
the
is
one.
happening to me?
But Interstellar was it's followable. There's a lot of action in it. It's really fun to watch. It's really smart. It's a great movie. I really love that movie. You hated that movie too, though. 'Cause it
Interstellar?
was too long. Yeah, you said it was too
I
long.
didn't hate it, but I thought it was too long.
Right?
But did I walk out annoyed?
No, you didn't. No, you bitched about the time.
The book?
Yeah.
Montage the book, I'm telling you guys, I could solve all of movies' problems with a little montage.
With a
Just watch.
montage. Gotta have a montage. Thank
now
you,
that
South
I've
Park.
seen Rocky, I know the value of a montage.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was a weird week, man. During the middle of COVID, HBO decides to show every Rocky movie ever made, including the Creeds, the ones they had already. And she got sucked in like I have never seen. She's like, what is this? I've been hearing about this. I said, how have you never
I was
seen
painting.
Rocky?
And I
Wait,
was
you-
stuck in the living room.
Before that, you never saw
I was
Rocky?
like, how are you not
No,
seen
everybody
Rocky?
knew that. I had never seen Rocky, or what's the other one that everyone thinks you have to see that people
Godfather.
kept bringing me on the road? Yeah,
We
Godfather.
watched all those too. And then we got to 3
Did
and you
I?
were like,
Oh, God.
first 2 were great.
Yeah.
De Niro, Pacino, you liked them. You liked them a lot.
I didn't think 2.
And I kept saying
Two-
two's way better.
I forget. Is it 3 where they're a lot older?
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah, that was super.
That one sucks.
Is 3 the one
where
with his daughter?
Where his daughter's going, I'm Sicilian,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be Sicilian for the rest of my life because
That
my
was
dad came from the oil country, and
awful.
you know what? We are a mob family,
Yes.
and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, okay.
She's
So
a
1 and
talented
2
director,
were
some people.
good. 1 and 2 were good. Hooah. Was that a different
No,
movie?
that's a
my
blind
God,
movie.
That's where he's
Okay.
the blind
Oh,
guy.
was that
That's
the blind
movie.
Oh, what was that called?
Scent of a
Yeah,
Woman.
there you
That's
go.
Jesus
right.
Christ.
That was Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
No,
Right?
No! God damn it.
Oh, wait. No, Tom Cruise was with Dustin Hoffman
Rain
in
Man.
a similar
Rain
movie.
Man.
That's not a
That's
similar
not Scent of a
movie.
Woman. It's not a similar movie.
They
Scent
both
of a
have
Woman,
issues, but
Leading man
Because someone
with
has an
disabled,
ailment?
I was going to say they got issues.
they're
Not the
leading
same.
man, disabled man, like twins. Twins, Scent of a Woman, and
Twins is Schwarzenegger and Danny
Scent-
DeVito.
And it's a full-out, balls-out comedy. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's all the same. What are they called? Scent of a Woman.
You're like the Buster Keaton of movie reviews.
What's the other one? Hooah.
What?
No,
So
that's
the
Scent of a
one.
Woman.
Hooah.
What's the
Scent because he
what's the
can't
one
see.
called
I
with
say,
Dustin
boy, you're gonna be
Hoffman?
having a woman. You get a woman next to you, smell that inside. Hooah!
Dustin Hoffman. Which one was that? Rain
Rain
Man.
Rain Man.
Okay, and
That's
twins.
Dustin Hoffman and
I stand
Tom
behind
Cruise.
this. I stand behind this.
Behind what?
Twins,
you know
Rain
nothing
Man.
about movies?
You stand behind it as a house falls on you
Twins,
through a window.
Rain Man, and Scent of a Woman. Same thing. Different actors.
No.
It wasn't Tom Cruise with him
Oh my
in
god.
Who?
I can't even
Who
do
was it?
that. And who? The movie's not called Hooah.
Who was it?
Christopher, the actor that played Christopher.
Oh, look, see?
No.
It's not just me.
Scent of a Woman? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Chris. What the hell is it?
Christopher Walken.
No,
Kristen.
Yeah, that's it. Hooah! I don't know why you keep saying hooah. Hooah! Stop.
Oh, Chris
saying
O'Donnell.
Hooah!
Chris
You're
O'Donnell.
blind and you can't drive the car, but you want to drive.
He got really puffy.
That's good.
That might be why. I haven't seen him in anything.
Stop with
You're
the
right.
hooah.
He does. He was in it. Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell.
He's very puffy now.
Chris O'Donnell?
He's.
Well, that's
Wow,
after
that
speaking of
doesn't look
Batman. That's after that Batman movie that he and George Clooney did, which was terrible. Yeah, that's not that puffy.
Yeah, you know what?
It's all right.
I blame that entire Batman movie on the nipples in the batsuit. It
Terrible,
was such a
yeah.
weird, like what?
Weird.
It was
That just
like
really threw you.
Who was Batman?
Clooney.
Jim Carrey was good though,
Jim Carrey was great
He was
as
great.
the Riddler. Yeah, I thought he was great as Riddler.
and Arnold Schwarzenegger was also
Jim
in that one.
Carrey, again, I will say this: name a bad Jim Carrey movie. Even 23. Name a bad.
Even
Jim
when he
Carrey.
on purpose tries to make a bad movie like Ace Ventura, like that could have been a horrible movie. Anybody else did that movie would have been terrible.
Oh, so
but he made it like, okay, this is like this is a
you know what I
classical
think
classic.
he did? He totally stepped in. Right, someone else would have played that movie dead serious. Pet Detective.
Yeah.
He made it so fucking insane that it's still a funny movie.
Same as The Mask too.
You know
Similar
who's
kind of.
also good
Yeah,
at
that was fun.
Who's also good at walking this line between believability and unbelievability to a point where you're like, I'm in. Is Adam Sandler. Fucking
Yeah.
again, I would name me a bad Adam
well,
Sandler movie.
that's
Well,
maybe,
no,
you know,
except
we might not want to
here's
put
the thing,
that question
Adam
on the
Sandler's
table.
so good. Like the characters he takes on. Like I remember when I watched the first. It's what we tell you to say about Harlan. Adam Sandler steps into a character like the water boy, and you're like, for the first 2 minutes, you're like, what the fuck? And then you're in. Then you're speaking his language, and then you're in. Yeah, the only time Adam Sandler movies miss for me is when he tries to be real serious. When he
What about Hidden Gems?
It's not my favorite Adam Sandler movie. He's great. He's a great actor. There's another one he did where he played he cut up not a homeless guy. He was going to kill himself.
Punch Drunk Love.
Is that it? Yeah, that one's really good.
It was an alcoholic, I think.
9/11, yeah. Adam Sandler's a fucking great actor because not a lot of great actors can do the comedy he can do. So that's an extra level to great actor that Adam Sandler.
I've heard he's a nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. He's very. I don't know him, but I mean,
That's
I
what
gather,
I'll say.
he's a very, very nice man. And really funny. And I think he's been, when the critics thrashed him in every movie he did. From The Wedding Singer, and he just said, I'll never do another fucking interview again. He didn't give a shit. And it's so funny how he was right. He's
Yeah.
absolutely.
And he didn't need to.
Right. You know one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies? The one where he plays the Middle Eastern guy.
The Zohan.
Oh my god, that movie
Yes.
makes me fucking laugh so hard. It's such an insane.
And he used there's a lot of Krav Maga guys in there that we.
Oh really?
Yes.
You would work with. Oh, it's very funny. Did they train him?
Yeah, because he was playing like a Mossad agent.
He's standing in front of this guy, and he goes, and the guy's talking shit, and he goes, I'm going to kick you in the face right now. And he goes, you're gonna what? And all of a sudden, this foot just
Yeah, the visual joke.
and he doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't move at all.
It's very airplane.
And he goes, what? He goes, do it again. And he puts his feet, toes up the guy's nose. And the guy's like, it's the dumbest shit, and it makes me laugh. And then when even from Rob Schneider picks up the phone and he goes, going out of business. Like the name of the store is going out of business. Made me laugh every time. It's a good movie. But I'm saying, give me a bad Adam Sandler movie. They're rare. There's certain people that are out there that they're just. And I would say Robin Williams didn't. Sometimes Robin Williams didn't have the consistency, as brilliant as Robin was, of films like Sandler does. For whatever reason.
Yeah,
Sandler
Good Will
had.
Hunting. Fucking, that was horrible. Have
Oh,
you seen
shut
that?
it. He's great. I'm saying his comedy movies. He did that one with Walter Matthau, and he did. I think he's brilliant. I think Robin was my favorite. He's one of my heroes, but he didn't. I don't know.
Fisher King.
Fisher King's still my top 5 forever.
I mean,
forever. But
that
I'm
was
saying,
crazy.
I can name a bad Robin Williams.
You know what you get now though is that he was playing what was inside of him, right? Like with the things that we know about that he struggled with. It's
People, if
there
you
are some heartbreaking
I got to
moments
sit
in
Jet
that.
down and make him watch Fisher King. If you haven't watched Fisher King, if you haven't seen Fisher King, the Fisher King,
We were talking to his kids. They were over on
shit.
Sunday, and he was asking Jet if he had seen Seven, and Jet said no. And we're like, what? We made my niece watch it New Year's Eve. And then he said, but I've seen Fight Club. We're talking about Brad Pitt movies. And I said, have you seen Snatch? And he said, no, but I'll put it in my phone because I've been wanting to watch old movies lately.
And I flipped the table. Motherfucker! I stood up, flipped the table.
Old movies. And
old
I
movies
said,
used to be
wow, like
Citizen Kane.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, he doesn't even know who Alfred Hitchcock is. And he said, yeah, I do, because it was in an episode of Psych. I'm like, oh God.
Okay.
By the way, we added a second show in Des Moines this Friday, the 28th, and added a show KC the 29th. First shows are both sold out. You can still come to the late show in Des Moines, Friday the 28th, and the late show in Kansas City on Saturday the 29th. And then you can go to Cleveland, Hilarities, August 11th and 12th. Detroit, Comedy Castle, that Sunday, the 13th. And then that very next weekend, the Stardome, Birmingham, Huntsville, Stand Up Live. The very next weekend, Blue Room in Springfield. So there's a bunch of stuff coming up. Atlanta, Center Stage Theater is on sale. Louisville, Baumhard. Knoxville, Bijou.
It's the We Hope COVID is Over tour.
Yeah, what's the other? There's more. Lexington's on sale. Oh, you're doing a show in Lafayette, Louisiana, and Dallas and Houston.
Ooh-wee.
Dallas and Houston
I'm
are
going
on
to do a
sale.
show there.
Oh, we added a show in New Orleans too.
I'm going to say
New Orleans
My
on-
daddy was tough on me.
You never. That's not how they talk there.
I know. I'm just
New
trying-
Orleans is going to be right before
No.
Lafayette, then Dallas, then Houston, all in a row. Whole southern shebang.
GNAW lens. Nolens.
It's not GN. It's
No.
NAW.
No.
It's printed on a bunch of stuff like that.
No, that's used on no.
Unless you're going NAW. NAW.
That's an H.
That's NH. NAH.
Not in the South.
Nah.
NAW.
I like that we're like, here's words that don't exist.
We're going to argue
those-
how to not spell it.
Just go to New Orleans and don't listen to how he pronounces it. Yeah, those are some like
Guys,
shows
we have a lot
coming
of
up.
dates coming up. I want you to come see Ray's show too. It's like everybody. I've been doing this a long time. People know what I can do, but boy, this new show you have, I watch you and I first of all, so usually the opener starts, but you're a headline, but you do take these gigs with me to open, and usually it takes 3 minutes to get the laughter rolling. I'm sitting in the green room every night, literally. Please welcome, boom. One sentence, 2 sentence, big monster laugh. And I it gets me out. Here's how good you are. It gets me up out of the green room to see what the hell happened. And you're just doing your comedy. That's how good you are now. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm just proud of you.
Thank you.
It's very lovely to
She's
see
really
this.
weird. She's really weird with compliments, man.
Oh.
No, I was taking it. I was
Did we only
looking
just
at
have
you
the
and
one
saying
today?
thank you.
Wait, just the one today? I mean, the one compliment. That's all you're getting.
Yes, we just had the one compliment.
there you
This
go.
podcast is brought to you by compliments.
No, And now it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts.
Okay.
It was the last note.
Please cut to her eye twitch at the end of me hitting that note. Or no, sorry, missing that note.
Speaking of celebrities.
I don't know if we were.
I really love this. I love speaking of. Speaking of, I like this. Never stop that.
When Lady Gaga went to NYU, a group of students started a Facebook group. Facebook is an old social media platform.
Got it.
Back in the day.
Okay.
About how she would never be famous. Guess the joke is really on them now, huh?
Wow.
Wait, they went out of the way to write a troll dickhead she sucks counting. That's wow.
People that were in college with her?
Yes, at NYU.
Wow.
Wait, who would say, you'll never be famous?
Yeah,
And let me
somebody's
write that
jailed.
down. And let me write
make a
that
group
down.
out of that.
Yeah, and get other people to join the group. Somebody's jealous.
Can I say this? I made a joke about Lady Gaga. I didn't get it at the beginning. I didn't realize who she was. I thought her first couple hits were kind of just very
Or Madonna-y.
yeah,
Poker
but then
face.
poker face. I made fun of that. I made fun of, and she turned out to be such a fucking talented human being and
Insane.
such a nice human being. And the joke I did, it's a good joke, but it's the only joke I've ever regretted.
David Bowie is proof.
No, no.
Lady Gaga
is proof that David Bowie raped Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
It's a good joke, but it's the only joke I've ever regretted. She's such a great person. Guys, I want to say something. Do me a favor. Take a minute. Look, the edge of the country. It's like we're literally on the ragged edge of democracy if this man gets elected again. So do me a favor.
COVID.
Take a couple of minutes to look stuff up. Do some research on your own. Don't just buy with the bullshit, because the people that are telling you the bullshit, if you believe them, you're making them money. They're not making you money, and the Republican Party has never made you money, even though you vote for them. Unless you're a billionaire or a millionaire, you've never made money.
Wouldn't we be included in that?
We,
Don't listen to us. It makes us money at COVID.
No. I look at every...
The numbers are spiking. The COVID numbers are coming up.
Are they?
Well,
that real?
Sir.
Are the
What?
COVID numbers coming up?
Oh my God.
So anyway, do some research, people, and do me a favor. Ask yourself, what have these people done for me? And then type that into your computer. Don't ask for me to give you site articles. Type it in your computer. What have the Republicans done for you as Americans? You're going to be surprised at the answer. And here's the thing. I will vote for only the people that help me. Currently, right now, the people that are helping me are the people I'm voting for. And the other people I've done a lot of research into, going back to Eisenhower. Eisenhower is the last Republican that helped. So there you go. That's how I feel about it. That's what I'm saying. That's my final word. Speaking of wrapping up the show.
Speaking of rap, go to thewillingbureau.com. That's the name of the group.
Oh,
the
rap.
Willing Bureau, not the Traveling Wilburys, okay?
Also, guys, go to christophertitus.com. We have t-shirts, this, that. There's new posters coming out. We're going to be on the road. I'm going to be doing a meet and greet. I don't think Ray will. And then I will. We're going to do new t-shirts, too. We got new t-shirts coming out.
When are they coming out?
Karen
That's exciting.
Ordering. Well, I might have to look at. There's one
Gotta
color thing.
going through the designs.
Yeah, I'm going through the design. It's the piece of artwork. The piece of artwork that's on the new t-shirt, guys, is stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning. Kat Renee. Look up Kat Renee and her work.
Tales of a Ragged Doll.
Holy shite. I'm so blessed that we have this artist in our life. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely bombshell Ray, who's burning a hole in my head where they're staring that I won't wrap this up. For myself, the bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
Big Billy one.
Way to have one.